Hi, I'm Ken.
I'm Linda.
My name's Mel.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Tyler, and this is my speech, my persuasive speech about tipping or gratuity and how I don't believe in it. My general purpose here, again, is to speak about gratuity and the tipping idea. I really don't accept it, and there are a lot of things and reasons why. I really think a big couple of main reasons are narcissism and social classing. It creates that. I also think the fact that we are paying for their wages is wrong, where it should be the company's job, not ours. And I also believe that the origins have a lot to do with it too, because originally we actually didn't believe in it and we had laws against it. And on top of that, we went from hating it to now being complete extremists, which is a great thing America does. But let's get to the origins of where tipping came from. It's kind of murky from the start. We don't really know. But the area itself around the 16th century is when we hear about it the most, and that's when, around house parties, masquerade parties, big things like that, the servants would ask for veils from the other house guests, and it would be a little portion of money that would pay for their extra services and for all the extra work they had to do with cleaning up and everything. And that happened. Well, 100 years into the future from there, into the 1700s, you start realizing that everyone is asking for it now. Carriage boys, pubs, bars, restaurants, servants, everything. Everybody is. And, you keep going forward, and around like the 1750s, they tried to abolish the idea of tipping, and that ended up in rioting and didn't happen. Well, you can see how bad it spread and how quickly it spread. It spread like a virus, and it's surprising because America, we didn't have it until around the 1850s, right after the Civil War, is when America started to get tipping, and we believed in it. It was when rich Americans went right over to Europe and they adopted the idea from them, and they brought it here. And when they brought it here around the area around 1916, we created an tipping brochure, and we had a whole group going on it. And in fact, around 1910, Washington State became one of the first states to abolish tipping. We were trying to uproar it, even though it came around in the 1850s, and it spread like wildfire. We did so many things with it. It's terrible with the whole idea of tipping. And New York Times was stating, a writer from New York Times stated around that time that it would spread like insects and viruses did, just like I was mentioning earlier. We move forward into the final area where, again, we went from not believing in tipping at all to now around the 1940s to completely believing it. What happened in that time? Well, the biggest thing that happened was the Great Depression. Right after the Great Depression, the people, like the restaurant owners, reduced their wages and made the servers promote tipping and getting paid tips and services for their gratuity. So after around 1960, Congress realized it was kind of accepted over here, so they were like, okay, we'll just take advantage of it. They left the minimum wage really low for waiters at about $2.15 per hour, as long as they were making $7 more an hour on tips. The biggest reason why I don't like tipping as well is that we really forget that the tips don't just go to the person you're tipping. The idea of tipping is we're supposed to be giving somebody extra money for what they did. But in reality, it's getting split with everybody, even people that don't deserve tips, like cooks and things like that. And I've learned that from personal experience with people. There are plenty of other reasons why tipping isn't the best idea. And I really believe we should just change our viewpoint on tipping and really believe differently and see how we can fix it. Down in Australia and in other countries, waiters get paid minimum wages of $10 plus an hour, sometimes upwards even more. There are other countries where they already factor in gratuity. Maybe we can consider something like that. But our current ideals are terrible, and they're going way too far via extremes. Even fast food restaurants are asking for tips, and that's not really right. But this is pretty much my point. I hope I got it across, and I hope you guys can understand at least a portion of the idea. And I want to thank you all for listening to it. That's everything.
I'll tell you, right, guys, it's all food over there?
Mm-hmm.